Welcome, everybody. My name is Denver Walker. I am the designer of Relic Wars, and I wanted to walk you guys through the Kickstarter preview for my game that is launching tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, PM. I usually put these out a little bit sooner, but we were gone. Flying Pig Games was gone at Buckeye Game Fest this weekend, so I literally just got home from an 8-hour drive from Columbus, and I'm putting this video out for you guys. So I always do these Kickstarter previews in an effort to get you guys excited, but then to also be super transparent with like shipping costs and our anticipated stretch goals, our funding goal, and then what you guys can expect for the different pledge levels. And then to also make it really clear, because I know personally, sometimes I look at Kickstarters and there's like 10 different pledge levels and I'm not really sure which one I want. So I thought that maybe these type of videos would make it a little bit easier for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump in. So this is the preview of the Kickstarter. As you can see, we have a really cool trailer. If you haven't seen it yet, it is on our YouTube channel. Ori Kagan from Kagan Productions did it. He did an awesome job. It's really exciting to watch. So I will let you guys check that out on our YouTube channel. It is, like I said before, a project we love from Kickstarter. So I was really proud to have it selected for that. Our funding goal is going to be $27,000. And I want to go ahead and bring this to your attention because I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about tariffs and things like that. We have accounted for those as for what we know about tariffs being 145%. We have accounted for that within this funding goal. Okay. So we haven't increased the cost of the games themselves. We just probably increased the overall funding goal, which might have been lower without these really high tariffs. I might have set it honestly $10,000, $15,000 lower than it is. And we just made it higher so that we can guarantee that this game will be printed and delivered and just realistically everything can happen. So for those of you wondering that question, and for those of you who are hesitant about backing Kickstarters right now, I understand, but I do want to let you know that we've been around for 10 years. This is our livelihood. This is actually our second board game company. We've been working with our print in China for over 20 years. And like I said, we have already done the math for what we're going to need monetarily to make this come to life. And that is in the funding goal. So as long as we hit that number, this is easily going to be able to happen, right? If it doesn't hit that number, then it's not successful anyway. So no worries. So once we go past that number, we're going to be able to do some really cool stuff as well. So let me go ahead and continue going down. Okay, so first we have the story. I want to bring your attention to I guess my cursor isn't showing up here, but the left side of the screen where you have the different headlines that I put in to try and make a table of contents, some bookmarks. I want to make it easy for you guys to jump to different parts that you're interested in checking out. The first part is going to be a description of Relic Wars and some exciting stuff. Then we have reviews and endorsements. So we can click on that. And so I have a few reviews and endorsements. Herman Lutman gave me a really awesome one. Zilla Blitz, Mark Street from Dice Tower, Stella at Maple University. And I think I have a couple more coming in, which is really nice. The next bookmark is going to be the contents of Relic Wars. This is going to be for the base game. I also have a video section. I have one from Zilla Blitz, Maple University. I have one that I did. And then I'm going to be posting some more. I have one from Dice Tower, Becca Scott at Good Time Society. Maple University, I've already said that. Another Zilla Blitz, and then Shelf Side. So I'll be adding videos in as they come in from the influencers. And we've got some really great content for you guys to watch. The next header is going to take us to the All Souls expansion. So this Kickstarter is bringing my game Relic Wars to life, but then also bringing to life an expansion that I made. This expansion brings in the ghost versions of the characters. So you're going to get 4 new miniatures in addition to the Relic Wars base game. So a total of 8 miniatures. And what happens is that in Relic Wars, when your character dies, you are eliminated from the game. There are many ways to avoid that from happening through the Revivify cards, the Arcane Triptych, healing, fire spells, ignoring damage, etc. But if you get through all of those things and you do die, you're out of the game. One of the ways to win is to be the only person standing. Now, in All Souls, what happens is that when you die, you come back as a ghost version of yourself. So these characters are really gruesome. The art is pretty gory. Let me show you really cool stuff that Ricardo did. He's the best. Yeah, so as you can see, like damaged characters. So when they come back, you get to have it's a little harder to win, but you can still win. And you have like a different feel to your character. You have different actions you can take, different abilities. Movement is a lot easier for you. But one of the things you can do is you can forego your 2 actions, which could be picking up an item or something like that, to roll the haunt die. This is a huge gamble, but there can be some really powerful things on the haunt die. For example, you could possess another character and you can take an action like you were taking their turn for them. In playtest, it's been super, super fun and really chaotic. And then, like as you can see, there are some other options that can happen on the haunt die. So the ghosts are a really fun element, and it totally takes out player elimination. But it is harder to win as a ghost. So that is the All Souls expansion. It's going to come with a same size box as Relic Wars, a little bit thinner, but the 12 inches by 12 inches. It's going to come with 4 new character sheets, 2 different new terrain types. You have the castle, which has double terrain fortifications. You get to roll 2 defense dice for that. It also comes with the swamp, which all living characters take a hit point of damage when they pass through the swamp tile. So that's a new effect. There's 6 new Relic War tokens, as you can see in this little GIF. The Shroud of Turin. There's the runes, which is a stronger portal type. There is the spear, the Crown of Thorns, which ghosts can place on living characters to prevent them from equipping items. There's Holy Water, which living players can actually put in their inventory to prevent ghosts from entering their tile. So a cool thing with ghosts is that they can actually enter the tile with a living player. There aren't crowding restrictions with ghosts, which makes them really spooky. In the Relic Wars base game, there are crowding restrictions where you can only have 1 character per tile. And there's also a new spell type, because I know everybody loves the spells in this game. All right, let's keep going. Let's go ahead and go quickly to the stretch goals. So like I said, funding's at $27,000. At $30,000, we're going to unlock linen-backed cards for the Divine Intervention cards. $40,000, we're going to have recessed character sheets. So that means the inventory section on the sheets and the HP tracker, and then the weapons and the shield slots are going to be, there's going to be like 2 layers. So they're going to be recessed, and so the tokens just fit really nicely into those boxes. $50,000, we're going to have an embroidered velvet bag for tokens. So the game is standard going to come with a velvet bag that's just standard for all the Relic War tokens. At $50,000, we're going to unlock some type of embroidery. I'm thinking either crossed swords or maybe the Relic Wars logo. At $75,000, we're going to add gold foil accents to the Relic Wars box, which is going to be so cute. At $100,000, I really hope we unlock this one, but a neoprene playmat to organize the map tiles. So when you are setting up Relic Wars, for those of you who have seen it and seen pictures or seen some of these influencers' videos, you actually set up a grid that's either 6x6 or 5x5. And, with this grid that we could do on the neoprene playmat, we could have some of those instructions on the playmat. It would help keep the tiles really organized. We could have a section for the Divine Intervention cards. We could have some iconography explaining maybe like the spell menu and stuff like that. So there's a lot that we could do with this playmat. So I'm excited in particular about that stretch goal. And then at $120,000, this is kind of that luxury component thing that everyone's into in the board gaming world. We will do metal frozen tokens. So these are going to be the tokens that go on the lakes when you freeze them to be able to make them passable terrain. We're going to have plenty more, but this is a start for what we have for now. Okay, everybody's favorite, shipping. So I always love to bring up shipping costs, even though it sucks to talk about. And I feel like people always think that our prices are high, but I want to be transparent with you about this. We make absolutely no money on shipping. In general, we lose money on shipping. Okay. At the same time, we don't want to lose money on shipping. We want to be realistic because we're a business and we want to survive and we want to keep making great games. One of the ways we do that is just being really transparent and realistic with you guys about what shipping costs are. These are the anticipated shipping costs for just the Relic Wars base game. So if you add in other things in the pledge manager or things like that, your shipping costs are definitely going to go up. Okay, that being said, shipping will be charged in the pledge manager. It's not going to be charged in the Kickstarter. So you will have access, those of you who are out of the country, you will have access to the Flying Pig Games web store through the pledge manager. I know a lot of people depend on our Kickstarters those people outside of America to get Flying Pig Games products, if not from resellers. So here are some of our costs. That will also be charged in the Pledge Manager for those of you where that's applicable. So yeah, I'm sorry about these Australian and Asian prices. This is where we're at. Like I said, we do not make any money on shipping. Okay, let's go over some of the things that Kickstarter has you add in. Like I said, we have been in business for over 10 years, since 2014. We have successfully funded and fulfilled 24 Kickstarters, and we're grateful to be a trusted and respected name in the board gaming industry. If you've never heard of us before, please check out our website, please Google us, and you can hear from other customers our reputation and our accountability and our respectability in the industry. Okay, and for, environmental commitments, we do have long-lasting designs. We thoroughly play test everything that we put out, and we have top quality from our printer in China. And so we know that our games are highly replayable, especially Relic Wars, because you are reshuffling the tokens and their terrain tiles, and you have 4 different asymmetrical characters. There's just like endless replayability with Relic Wars, and then not to mention all souls being thrown in there. So we know that it's a long-lasting design with top quality components. And we can guarantee that to you guys. I do have I have an FAQ page as well for some people. Here we go. So if you have some interesting, or if you have some questions, I've kind of answered some of them. There will be a Pledge Manager. Where do we print our games? We print them at Magic Craft in China. If you want to look into them, if you're curious about if they're certified and all those things, which they are, please go check them out. They are awesome. Relic Wars is not a war game. I know a lot of people have asked that. We are a typical Hex Encounter war game company. We've always kind of put out some games that were fringe, like The Long Road, that had that fantasy sci-fi paranormal aspect to it with Hex Encounter war game components. But Relic Wars is an expansion of the Flying Pig Games line. So this is not a typical war game. When we talk about historical simulations or historical Hex Encounter war games, or not even just Hex Encounter, but what you might think of as a war game. This is a low complexity game that I designed to appeal to a wide audience that can be played numerous times, and that would just be really chaotic and just pure fun. The miniatures, the molds have actually already been made at our printer in China, which is exciting. We've already got some samples. So they're going to be extremely durable, and they're going to be durable miniatures as opposed to a lot of the prototypes I have, which are resin 3D printed. The mass production ones are actually going to be made from molds. Okay, I wanted to go ahead, and I've addressed tariffs before, but I also included it in the FAQs. We do not use any AI art. We're pretty passionate about that and pretty passionate about supporting our artists, and especially Ricardo. He is incredible, and this game would not be possible without him, and he knows that. And he also almost has as much creative input into this game as I did. We worked hand in hand with this game, and so that relationship and what he can contribute is totally invaluable to me. So I can't imagine using AI. Not that I'm against it, but when it comes to art, I like being able to, we feel very passionately about supporting artists and that relationship. Okay, let's go back to the campaign. Okay, awesome. So we went through all of the tabs on the side of the page. Now I want to go ahead and let's talk about the pledge levels. Okay, there's obviously the support pledge level. The first 3 backers, the blessed first 3, are going to get the game for $1 plus shipping. Okay, you'll get access to the Pledge Manager, all that jazz. So this is why you want to follow the pre-launch page, and you want to be ready to go at noon tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, because those 3 are going to go really quickly. Next, we have the basic pledge level. It's $70. It's $5 off the MSRP, and you will just get the base game. Okay, this is probably the most popular level. I featured it. It is the all-in pledge level, where you will get 1 copy of Relic Wars and 1 copy of the All Souls expansion for $10 off the MSRP. And it, like I say here, there's 8 miniatures across the 2 games, because you get the living miniatures and then you also get the ghost miniatures. I've included 2 retailer pledge levels, but maybe not in the same way that other people do. You'll get 40 copies of Relic Wars for 50% off, which is our standard wholesale discount that we give to resellers. and distributors. So you can back it at the $1,400 level, which is going to be 40 copies of Relic Wars. Or there's also the all-in pledge level, which is $2,200, where you get 40 copies of Relic Wars and also 40 copies of All Souls. So there are two different retailer pledge levels for you to look into if you are a retailer wanting to pledge to get the games a little bit sooner than you would if you waited for the Kickstarter to be fulfilled, because we always fulfill backers first. That being said, talking about fulfillment, our estimated delivery is going to be December of this year, if not sooner. This Kickstarter is going to run for 30 days. All the print files are ready to go for Relic Wars and for All Souls. All Souls has a little bit more play testing to go. But I mean, after that is done, it's going to be off to the printer. Like I said, the molds have already been made for the miniatures for Relic Wars. So we're really going to be able to hit the ground running. And a lot of the stretch goals that we've incorporated are going to be adding more luxury to the game and not so much creating a lot more, not creating more work that's just going to drag out the fulfillment of the game. So like I said, fulfillment is expected to be by December of this year. Okay, so Relic Wars is launching tomorrow, May 6th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is my first published design. Really excited about it, from Flying Pig Games. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow that pre-launch page. I'm going to be adding more and more videos from influencers as they come in, and I'm going to be adding more quotes and a little bit more information. I'm really excited for this. Thank you in advance to all of you who have already supported me. I'm beyond grateful, and thank you all who continue to support board games in this industry and continuing to make awesome ideas like this come to life. I'll see you guys soon.